Hello everyone. This tutorial is going to go over adding your custom fixtures into Maestro. You may have some fixtures that MaestroDMX does not have a profile for, but you can still add your own profiles for these fixtures. A lot of questions come up regarding moving heads, so I'm going to detail adding 3 different types of moving heads into Maestro. First thing you want to do is make sure you have your Maestro window open and connected. So as you see over here, I have my Maestro open. You're going to also want to download your manuals for each of your fixtures, or grab them. If you have paper manuals, make sure you have those in front of you. For this example, I will show the manuals via the download links. And I have 3 different moving head fixtures that we're going to be adding to Maestro today. Our first fixture is a 7x10 watt LED moving head. This is more of a generic Chinese brand moving wash fixture. I'm also going to add a Sheds brand LED spot fixture. This is an 80 watt LED fixture that has a gobo wheel, a color wheel, a focus, a prism, things like that. And then we're also going to add a name brand Chauvet Intimidator Spot 255 IRC. This fixture has the same color and gobo wheels along with a prism. So we're going to add these 3 fixtures today to Maestro. We're going to start with that 7x10 watt LED moving wash fixture. So in your Maestro window, you're going to want to go over to the Stage tab. Make sure you have a stage loaded. A blank stage is useful. If this is your first time, you should have a blank stage if you've not added any fixtures. But if you want to go through this tutorial with me, create a secondary stage so you don't override your existing stage, and then add your lights to that new stage. In this case, I have this test stage created here, and it is already blank. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to that fixture profile tab in Maestro, and we're going to click the add button in the top right. This brings up a simple form, and we're going to fill in our fixture profile details, the name and manufacturer. So this one is a stage wash, 7x10 watt LED moving head. We're going to put RGBW in this list, and I'm going to tag this one with demo so I can easily find it, since I already created this fixture profile previously. This is a stage right fixture, so we're going to find that manufacturer or fill in the full name if that manufacturer is not on the list. If you type a new name, it will create a new manufacturer on your device for you to pick from. Click on Save New Fixture Profile. This is going to create a blank template. Now we need to go through and we need to add those DMX modes available on our fixture. First thing you want to do is go to your fixture manual and find those DMX values that you're going to want to set. This fixture has 2 different modes available. There's a 9-channel and a 14-channel mode. What you're going to want to do with most of your fixtures is pick a mode that uses the least amount of DMX channels while still having all the features you want out of that fixture. In this case, the 9-channel mode is the better option for this fixture. It frees up a few DMX channels over the 14-channel mode, which generally just has these additional macros that we're not going to use anyways. So we're going to skip that 14-channel. We're going to go right to this 9-channel mode, which has all the features we want that Maestro is going to be able to use successfully. So we're going to choose this mode to work with. So we will click the 3 dots at the top of our profile blank template here and click Add Mode. That's going to bring up a form. We're going to add 9 channels to this mode. Click on Save New Mode, and that's going to bring up the filled in template. This template by default is going to have a bunch of static values. We are going to go through and set these values based on what they are in the manual. So comparing this to that manual list, 9-channel mode, we have 9 channels here to pick from. We're going to set each one based on what the manual says. Channel 1 is our pan control. So we're going to scroll down and find pan. Sometimes you will see manuals where they label this as X-axis. X-axis is also going to be your pan. Next channel is going to be channel 2 there, and that is our tilt. So we'll scroll down and we will find tilt in this list. And again, some manuals may label this as a Y-axis control. That is going to be your tilt. The next channel here is channel 3, and this one says Master Dimmer. Now Maestro has 2 different options for dimmers in here. There is a Master Dimmer, and there is a regular dimmer, along with a Fine Dimmer. Now the difference between these two is if your fixture has individual RGB pixels or more than one pixel, you'll want to set master dimmer here. If your fixture only has one LED, like if it's a moving spot, or a fixture with just a single pixel, you'll want to set dimmer for that one. And as you see here, this one has RGBW, so I'm going to do master dimmer for this. Channel 4 starts our colors, so this is going to be our red channel. So we'll click the drop down and choose red. That matches this here. For channel 5, we're going to set green, as we see here in the manual. For channel 6, we are going to set blue. And I clicked the wrong thing. We'll try that again. Blue. And then channel 7 is our white. Now there are a few different white options here available to you. There's a cool white and a warm white. Generally, most fixtures that have RGBW listed are going to be the cool white. Sometimes they'll have amber, so RGBA, or you'll see RGB white, but then it's a warm white. You kind of judge from there, but more than likely it's going to be a cool white for a lot of these moving heads. Channel 8 is going to be our pan and tilt speed, and as you see here, it says slow to fast. So we're going to choose speed here down the list. But this one, by default, setting a value of 0, that's going to be our slow speed. We actually want to adjust this and set that to the fast speed, which is going to be 255. And this may vary by fixture. Sometimes it's fast to slow. Just read the manual, make sure you set the right value there for speed, or adjust as needed. And then channel 9 is our reset channel. We're going to leave this set as a static value of 0. We don't want the fixture resetting, so we're just going to leave that as a static value. Once we've had all these values filled in, there is no save button, but it already has saved these details. So now we can go to back to our stage page, which should be blank. Or if you're using an existing stage, just be aware when you add your fixtures, make sure you address them properly so they don't overlap on other DMX addresses. But in this case, I have a blank stage. So we're going to click the three dots at the top and click on Add Fixture. We're going to look for that demo fixture that we just created, or whatever you named it as. Choose that fixture from the Fixture Profile Mode dropdown. We'll leave this as a primary fixture. The start address for this one is going to be different. By default, it picks 1, whatever the first available DMX value is. With these fixtures, they are set differently, so I'm going to set them to their actual values. This first one is going to be 483. We're only adding one fixture to start. We will click on Add, and that will add the fixture into Maestro. Excuse me. And then we're going to add a second fixture following that same profile. So we're going to click the three dots here, click on Add. We'll again search for that fixture that we just created. This second fixture does have a DMX start address of 492, so we will leave that set as is. And we're just adding one fixture again. So if we click on Add, we now have two fixtures in our Maestro. And if I switch over to my camera here, you see those two fixtures there in the center are now lighting up, are now flashing. We can solo those fixtures to see each one. So there are those two fixtures added into Maestro. So now we are going to go back and we're going to add our second set of fixtures here. And that is going to be that 80 watt LED spot by Sheds. So we're going to go back to our Fixture Profile tab. Click on Add at the top right. That's going to bring up our fixture profile. We're going to name this LED Spot 80 watt. I'm going to tag mine with a demo so that I can easily find it. And this is by Sheds. Click on Save Profile. That again creates a blank profile page. Now we're going to figure out how many modes this fixture has by scrolling through our manual, finding the DMX section, and looking at the available modes to us. This one has a 13 channel mode and a 10 channel mode. Again, to save DMX channels, let's look at that 10 channel and we'll see if this has all the features we're looking for, since that does free up a few additional DMX channels for other fixtures. Looking at this, we have our pan, our tilt, our dimmer. Now this one is again a single LED fixture, so we're going to set dimmer and not master dimmer on this one, and I will show you. Channel 4 is our strobe, channel 5 is our color wheel, channel 6 is our gobo wheel, channel 7 is our focus, channel 8 is our prism, 9 is our speed channel, again pan and tilt speed, and 10 is kind of a macro channel. We won't use that one, but we still have less than 13 DMX addresses that we're using, so we'll free up a few for more fixtures. So we are going to add a 10 channel mode here. We're going to click the 3 dots, click on add mode, type in 10 channels here, and click on save. That's going to bring up that form again with 10 static values. We're going to match those values across here from our manual. So channel 1 again is our pan channel. Channel 2 is our tilt channel. Channel 3 is our dimmer channel, and again this one has a single pixel, so we're not doing master dimmer. We are doing the regular dimmer here. Channel 4 is our strobe channel. Scroll down and choose strobe. Channel 5 is our color wheel, so we're going to scroll down and choose color wheel. Channel 6 is our gobo wheel. Scroll down and we're going to find gobo here in the list. Channel 7 is our focus. Now there is no focus option currently available in Maestro. There is a zoom, so we'll just pick that one to start. Channel 8 is our prism, and there is no prism option here in Maestro, so we're going to leave this one set as a static value for now. Channel 9 is going to be our pan and tilt speed. We're going to click this, and we are going to scroll down and find speed. And looking at this one, it does not mention slow to fast. We're going to leave this one just set as a 0 for right now. We're going to assume that fast is 0 and slow is 255, but we can adjust that if needed. And channel 10 is our macro channel. We're going to leave this set as a static value of 0 so that it does not trigger any of these modes. And again, once you have this all filled in, you do not need to click save. It's already saved. We're going to go back to our stage page. We're going to add 2 more fixtures based on this profile that we just created. So again, these are the Sheds LED spot 80 watt, so we'll pick that. This first fixture that I have has a DMX start address of 463. We're only adding 1 fixture, so we'll click add here. There we go, we see that 1 fixture in our list. We're going to add 1 more. Again, find the fixture that you just created. Set the DMX value to match the value that is set on your fixture. In this case, it's 473 for the second one. We're only adding 1 fixture, and we'll click on add fixture. Now we have our 2 pairs of Sheds fixtures. If I switch it back to my camera here, we're going to see that we now have the 2 washes in front, and we also have those 2 LED spots on the sides there working. You may not see those too well, but they are lighting up. I will single them so you can see. If I single the one, we'll give it a second here to light up. There it goes. If I single the other one, as you see there, that other side is now blinking on and off. So we've now added 2 moving washes and 2 moving spots. We're going to add 2 more fixtures, and these are those Intimidator, those name brand Chave fixtures. These ones also are a moving spot. We have our manual here, and let me switch my camera back. So we have our manual here. For those Intimidators, we're going to go back to our fixture profile tab. We're going to click on add again. This time we're going to name those Intimidator Spot 255 IRC there. I'm going to tag mine with demo just to make it easy for me to locate it. And we'll save that profile. And now we're going to look through our manual and find those DMX values that are available on this fixture. This fixture has both a 13 channel and a 8 channel mode. In the case of this one, we're going to pick that 13 channel mode for creating this fixture profile. Excuse me. So we'll click on the 3 dots at the top here, click on add mode. This time we're going to choose 13 channels. Click on save. That's going to bring up this blank template with the static value set. We are going to adjust these values again. So for channel 1, we have our pan channel. And again, if it doesn't say pan, it may say Y, or it may say X. That's going to be your pan channel, so X axis. So we will go through and we will choose pan from this list. Channel 2 is our fine pan value, so we're going to change that to pan fine. Channel 3 is our tilt or our y-axis. If your manual says y, that's likely going to be your tilt. Channel 4 is going to be our fine tilt. So we'll scroll down, we'll find fine tilt. Channel 5 is going to be our speed channel. And as we see here, this one says fast to slow. So we're going to assume that a setting of 0 is going to be the fastest mode. So we will go and set speed. By default, that's going to choose 0, so we'll leave that as 0. Channel 6 is our color wheel. So we're going to scroll down, find color wheel in that list. Channel 7 is our gobo wheel. We're going to scroll down and find gobo. Channel 8 is our rotation for gobos, and there is a rotation option in here, so you can choose rotation. Channel 9 is our prism, and as again we did not have a prism setting in the previous one, we're going to leave this one as a static value because there is no option currently in this list for prism. Channel 10 is going to be our dimmer, and again this is a single pixel fixture, so we're not going to set master dimmer, we're going to set regular dimmer here. Channel 11 is our shutter. If we scroll down, we will find a shutter option. You'll want to pick that, but as you read here in the manual, a value of 0 is a closed shutter, which means the light will not be lighting up. You want that to be an open shutter. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the values that set open. We can choose a value between 4 and 7 to set open, or we can do 216 to 255. For ease of use here, we're just going to drag this all the way over to 255 and click on save, and now we have an open shutter being set. Channel 12 is a special function. We're not going to use that, so we'll leave that as a static value of 0, which means no function here. And channel 13 is our pan and tilt macros. We're again going to leave that one set as a static 0 as well, because we don't want to use any of those built-in functions. Now that we've added this profile, we're going to go back to our stage, and we're going to add 2 more fixtures. And these are going to be those Intimidator 255s that we just created. So if we choose Intimidator spot in this list, leave that as the primary fixture group. We're going to set this start address to match what I have on my end. So again, these fixtures start a little bit higher. This one starts at 301. So we'll click on add, and that will add that one fixture. Now we're going to add one more here. Again, choosing the fixture profile that we just created. Fixture group primary, setting our start address for that fixture, which in this case, this one is 314, and only adding one fixture, and we'll click on add. Now we have our 6 fixtures here on our stage. We switch back to our camera. We will now see we have those 2 washes in the front that are working, and we can solo those if we want to check. Again, there's the first one. There's the second one. We have those 2 LED spots. There's the first one. And we'll give that one a second to light back up. There's the second one. We also have those Chauvet 255 IRC fixtures. That one and that one. So we've now successfully added 6 fixtures to our stage. Now, hey, with moving heads, a lot of DJs like to have those facing towards the crowd. So how do I fix that? Well, that is done by setting your offsets on your fixtures. So what we're going to do is we're going to expand out this fixture here, this Intimidator spot, and we're going to set our widths and offsets for pan and tilt. If you open this and click on Edit Channel, that's going to bring up a simple form here. By default, your width's going to be set to 25%, your offset's going to be dead center. Now that width is more than likely pretty close to accurate already. The only thing we'll have to adjust is our offset. And since I've done this before, I know these fixtures work with an offset of 35%. You will need to adjust from your end, but I would try 35 first, because more than likely a lot of moving heads have a 270-degree pan. That should fit with 35% pretty accurately. So now that we've set those 2, if we click on Save, we're going to now see that that fixture has rotated and is now pointing up, but is facing towards the crowd. So now we need to adjust that tilt width and offset. So we're going to go back to tilt here. We're going to click the 3 dots and click on edit. And again, by default, your width's going to be 50% on your tilt, and your offset's going to be 0, and that's going to be having that fixture pointing straight up. Now our width is already set the way we want it. We just need to adjust our offset, and this may be the case for you as well. More than likely your tilt is 180 degrees like most fixtures, so that is already setting that half of 180 that you want to face towards the crowd, but adjust as necessary. Now in my case, my offsets work with a negative number, so we're going to set that to -50. Sometimes if you have a fixture and you set this and it's facing backwards, switch it over to +50, and then you'll see it facing forward. Play with those offset values until you get it the way you like it. But if I click save now, that fixture will now rotate and face towards the crowd, as you see here. So that fixture is good. Since we're going to do the same thing on the other one, we already know those values, so we're going to go and edit that channel. Set our offset to 35% here. Save that channel. That one's going to rotate and point up. And now we're going to go to that tilt channel and set our offset to -50 for tilt. Click on save. And now that fixture is facing forward towards the crowd. Now let's do the same for our other moving heads. We have these 80-watt LED spots. And again, these are 270 degree pan, 180 degree tilt. More than likely, these values will also work. So let me just go and set our 35% offset. Click on save. That fixture will now rotate, but still be facing up. We're going to now adjust that tilt channel. And we're going to do that -50% for our offset. And click on save. And look at that. That fixture is now facing towards the crowd. So again, many of your moving heads will fit with these values. If you like your fixtures facing forward and only scanning the crowd, try these values first and adjust as necessary. We're going to do the same thing for that second moving spot. Go to pan, width is 25, offset is 35. Click on save, and then go to our tilt. Width is 50%, offset is -50%. And click on save. And now we have those two 80-watt LED spots facing towards the crowd. We have two more fixtures to adjust our offsets on, and these are those stage wash fixtures. Let's open the first one. And again, this is a 270 degree pan, 180 degree tilt. So we'll go and edit that pan channel. We'll leave that as 25% width. We'll set our offset to 35%. We'll see what happens here. Click on save. That fixture did rotate towards us, so that is one thing we are looking for. Now let's go back to our tilt. Click on edit. And this time we are going to set that -50 value for our offset and click on save. One thing we did notice is, oops, this fixture is not facing forward, it's now facing backwards. So this is that case where your fixture may be flipped from the offset that you set previously. We're going to now switch this one to 50% and see what happens. And look at that, that fixture is now facing forward, and that's what we're looking for. So we now have those values set for this fixture. We're going to do the same thing on that fourth fixture. Go to pan, set that with an offset of 35% there. And then go to our tilt, and again set that with an offset. And as we mentioned, this one faces backwards when we do -50, so let's do +50 for this one. And click on save. And now we see that other fixture is also now facing forward. So that is how you set up your moving heads in Maestro. We've set up both a Chauvet 255 IRC fixture, we've set up a RGBW moving wash fixture, and we've set up two Sheds brands 80-watt LED fixtures. Hopefully this was helpful to all of you to walk you through doing your own fixture profiles for movers. Again, it's always best to look up those manuals, match those manual values to your fixture profile in Maestro. And if you do run into any problems, always feel free to reach out via the Maestro forums or reach out via the Facebook group or the Discord channel if you've been invited to Discord being a MaestroDMX customer. Again, thank you for your time.